Gynecomastia, or man boobs, is a condition found in 50% of men, and it's characterized by enlarged breast tissue. And it's caused by an imbalance of estrogen and testosterone. So your estrogen levels are too high and your testosterone levels are too low. And this is found in 50% of men today. That's much higher than it used to be because testosterone levels of men today have been declining over the last couple generations. So young men today have the testosterone levels of old men from like 100 years ago. The reason for that is a topic for another video, but this low level of testosterone and increased estrogen is one of the reasons why we're seeing more young men with man boobs today. I personally have this condition and it used to be a really big source of insecurity for me. I only discovered I had it a couple years ago, and as soon as I realized that I have this condition, this male breast tissue, it was really I felt really ashamed of myself. Not that it was really my fault, but obviously I didn't want to deal with this situation. I wanted the problem to go away. And there are some things that you can do, some things that I've done that improve my situation, and I'll talk about those in this video, so stay tuned for those. First of all, a lot of you that have man boobs, it might just be that you're overweight. If you got really lean, you might discover that your man boobs went away and it wasn't actually enlarged breast tissue, it was just fat stored on your chest. So one thing you can do just to check to see whether it's actually gynecomastia or not is get lean. If you're already lean and you still have man boobs, then you probably do have gynecomastia, and I would get it checked with a doctor just to confirm. But given that 50% of young men have it, there is a real chance that you have this condition and you probably want to do something about it. So there are some things you can do right now to make it better. First one is to wear dark clothes. If you're wearing a light t-shirt, a white t-shirt or a white shirt, the shadows around your chest area are going to make the gyno much more visible. Whereas if you have dark clothes on, like a black shirt or a navy shirt or something, the shadows are going to blend in more with the color of the material you're wearing. And that's going to make it much less visible. When I first discovered that I had this condition, I didn't want to wear white shirts anymore because I realized that made it stand out. And so I started wearing mostly dark clothes, and I still wear mostly dark clothes because that makes me feel, more confident. I don't have to feel like I have to hide my chest or anything. At first, I struggled to accept that I had this condition. I wanted it to just be gone. But in reality, there's no cure for this. You just have to accept it and do what you can to deal with the problem and make it more manageable. And another thing you can do right now is improve your posture. So when I first discovered I had this, I wanted to hide my chest and kind of slouch over so that no one would see me. No one would look at my chest, and this actually makes it much worse. If you stand up straight with your chest open and your shoulders back, that's going to look much better than slouching forward and kind of creating more shadows around your chest region. That's going to make it more visible. Plus, having good posture just makes you look better, it makes you feel more confident. People are going to look at you as a more confident person. You treat yourself and other people treat you better if you have good posture, as opposed to being slouched forward, just looking sorry for yourself, trying to hide yourself. That's not good for anybody. Even though you might feel like you want to hide yourself because you're ashamed of this condition you have, there's no reason to live your life in shame. It's likely not your fault that you have this condition, so you need to accept it, do what you can to improve upon it, and it's really not as big a problem as you might think it is. I made quite a big deal out of it when I first found out about it, but no one had ever noticed it before me. It was just me, and probably no one has really noticed your problem either, and really people don't care as much about what you look like as you think. Everyone is just worried about themselves. Everyone has their own insecurities they're worrying about. So you might think that people are staring at your chest, judging you or whatever, but really they're probably just worrying about the parts of their body that they're insecure about. So the two things you can do right now to make it better: wearing dark clothes and improving your posture. In the long term, you definitely need to be building a lot of chest muscle. Gyno really looks bad when you have no chest muscle and you just have the breast tissue on your chest. If you have a bunch of muscle there, it's really hard to notice if you have gynecomastia. There was a fitness YouTuber, Joe Stetics, who had surgery to get his gyno removed, and I couldn't even tell that he had it before he had the surgery. And afterwards, I thought it looked pretty much the same. If you have a lot of chest muscle, it's unlikely that anyone is going to be able to tell that you have this condition. Everyone is just going to be impressed by your chest muscles. You're going to feel good because you have, a lot of muscle on your frame. You're stronger, you're more confident. you look better, and the problem of gynecomastia is really minimized. And building muscle is just a good goal to have regardless of whether you have gyno or not. Another important thing to address is the cause of this problem in the first place, which is the hormonal imbalance. If you have this problem, chances are your estrogen levels are too high and your testosterone levels are too low. So you want to remove the things that increase your estrogen and lower your testosterone, and you want to increase the things that will increase your testosterone. Number one way to increase your testosterone is just to get enough sleep. If you're restricting your sleep by staying up playing video games or watching anime or something until like 3 a.m. and only getting 6 hours of sleep a night, that is simply not enough, and you're tanking your testosterone levels by doing that. You need to be getting at least like 8 hours, 9 hours a night, especially if you're an athlete, you're working out, trying to build muscle. You need more sleep than a normal sedentary person. You also need to fix your diet. If you're eating shitty processed foods, that's obviously going to destroy your health. You're not providing your body with any fuel to produce testosterone. Some good foods to eat to increase testosterone are going to be eggs. Eggs contain cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone. Testosterone is made out of cholesterol. So if you don't get this because you're restricting cholesterol in your diet because you've been told that it's bad for you, your testosterone levels are not going to be good because your body needs cholesterol to make testosterone, and eggs especially are a very good source of this. You also need plenty of fat because testosterone is increased with more fat in your diet. So healthy fat sources like fish, olive oil, and dairy if you can tolerate it, nuts and seeds. Avoiding vegetable oils and seed oils, canola oil, that kind of thing, because they increase inflammation in the body, and most people have an imbalance of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids. They have too many omega-6 fatty acids from vegetable oils because it's in basically every processed food in the American diet, and they have not enough omega-3 fatty acids from like salmon and nuts and that kind of thing. So anyway, eat a healthy diet, eat eggs, and have plenty of healthy fats. Another thing you can do is lift heavy weights and just build muscle, and especially lose fat, because fat contains an enzyme called aromatase, which converts testosterone into estrogen. So the more fat you have on your body, the more testosterone is being converted into estrogen. So if you are very fat, then your body is producing a lot of estrogen, and that is going to give you more man boobs. So as well as the chest fat that you already have on your chest, you're going to get breast tissue as well from the increased estrogen levels. It's very important to avoid things that increase your estrogen levels. Most importantly is going to be BPA, which is found in plastic water bottles, plastic food containers. So drink out of metal water bottles and glasses, and eat out of glass food containers, and just use like ceramic or china plates and bowls at home. Also, BPA is found in extremely high levels on receipts. So whenever you can, avoid touching receipts. Try and just record how much you spend on your notes app on your phone or something instead of taking the actual receipt from the store. And also the birth control pills that women take, when they excrete them from their body by pissing into the toilet, they don't get filtered out of the water system. So all the water that runs through your house probably has birth control in it. Birth control being literally just estrogen and progesterone, which are female hormones, and they're going to have feminizing effects on the body. So ideally you filter your water if you can afford a water filter. This doesn't get rid of all of the estrogen in the water supply, but it's still going to be better than nothing. So to avoid these estrogen increasing sources, you need to avoid BPA from like plastic containers and water bottles. Don't touch receipts, and filter your water if you can. So I'll just do a quick summary of everything I talked about in this video, how you can deal with this problem. So right now you can wear dark clothes. That's going to make it much less visible. You can improve your posture, build chest muscle, which is really going to make it less prominent. No one's going to care about the little bit of puffiness around your nipples if you are absolutely jacked. Also, you need to try and fix that hormone imbalance, which is the source of the problem in the first place. So get more sleep to increase your testosterone. Look into other ways to increase testosterone, what foods you can eat. Competition is a really good way to increase testosterone, especially, fighting with other men in a martial arts club or something, lifting weights, and avoiding the things that increase your estrogen levels, like BPA found in plastics, and try to filter your tap water if you can. If the problem is really bad and you've tried all these things and it still hasn't gone away and you're still not happy with it, then you can get surgery to have it removed. This doesn't work 100% of the time, but you still have that option if you really want to do that. But it's important to not lose hope. If you find out you have this condition, you might feel ashamed, you might want to hide yourself, but that's no way to live your life. There are things you can do to make this problem better and you should take all the steps you can to do that. And ultimately you have to accept that you might have to live with this, and in the grand scheme of things it's really not that big a deal. You might look back when you're like 90 years old and think, what the hell was I worried about? A little bit of puffiness around my nipples. No one really cares except for you. Everyone is worried about themselves, and you just do what you can to deal with the problem and accept it and move on with the other important things in your life. I hope this video helped you understand gynecomastia a little bit more and gave you a little bit of hope that you can improve this condition, and it's really not so bad as you might think right now. This is pretty different from my normal videos, but since I know so many guys suffer with this, I suffered with it myself. I wanted to make a video just to help you guys out, allow you to gain back a little bit of confidence in your body if you had been feeling like you wanted to hide yourself. It might feel like a big problem right now, but in the end, life goes on. There are much more important things to be thinking about. In my opinion, you should do what you can to improve upon the situation, and then you should really be focusing on the more important things in your life, like getting into really good shape, having great relationships with people, making some kind of positive impact on the world, instead of worrying about your own appearance too much. Alright, I've spoken for long enough. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. If you've seen my video on Toji's physique and you're interested in the complete guide to achieving Toji Fushigero's physique, including a physique analysis and weightlifting or calisthenics training programs tailored to suit your needs and efficiently maximize muscle growth, check out the link at the top of the description.